Certainly, the most significant way is very intrusive federal regulation coming out of the U.S. Department of Education in the past couple of years. You know, all education law starts in the Congress, and when the Congress is done and they create what they call the Higher Education Opportunity Act, then that law has to go through a process where regulations are written, and the Department of Education is tasked with the assignment of coming up with implementing regulations, which when the law was last authorized was, I think, 2008. Then a process kicked in where the Department of Education came up with hundreds and hundreds of pages, I think 900 pages of regulations. And this is how the law will be applied. And they go through a very, very long process of writing regulations and then having a rulemaking negotiation with the field, and then issuing proposed regulations, and then getting public comments, and then coming out with final regulations. Well, federalization has taken a turn in the past, well, within the past year, in which it is very, very clear to everyone, and this is nothing new from me, that the federal government is moving aggressively to take over control of higher education more and more. Their reasons are that there's billions and billions of dollars of federal money going to institutions, post-secondary institutions, and they want more accountability for these dollars. They want more transparency of how decisions are made, and they want greater and greater control over how the money is spent. And if I had to boil it down to one sentence, it would be, are we getting, as a nation, the best bang for our dollar that we can get out of the billions we spend on higher education? So consequently, there has been a change in sea temperature with the new administration that came in 2009, that we're witnessing greater and greater control through the means of regulation over higher education. And this will get to things like incentive compensation. One of the most controversial things would be something called gainful employment, where students have to make enough money in their jobs to pay back their student loans. And state authorization is another controversial one. It's just about at every turn the federal government has decided that it needs to assert more control. And this means, as a consequence, that accreditation is being shoved aside, and that the state bodies or the state regulators are also being called to task and being asked to do more. In fact, in state authorization, one of the premises was that the states weren't doing their job and weren't doing a good enough job, and they need to step up. And so the federal government has become aggressively involved in, I would have to say, controlling the soul of higher education.